Welcome to the Southwest Pool and Spa Show preview. I'm Pam Vingy, and today I'm interviewing one of our conference speakers, Alicia Stephens. Alicia is the branding and education manager for BioLab. In her 22 years with BioLab, Alicia has focused primarily on education, training, and development of our pool professionals. She'll discuss the session topics. She's got 3 of them, actually. The first one's going to be a basic water chemistry. She calls it the 3 Ps of pool care. The second one we're going to be learning about is algae. Super hot topic, always a problem. She's going to teach algae, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then the third one is hot water chemistry. It's not just a little pool. So this is going to be fantastic. We're going to get right into the water chemistry for hot tubs and for swimming pools. Let's welcome Alicia. Welcome, Alicia.
Thanks, Pam. I'm excited to be here with you today.
You are so busy, and you're going to be so busy at the Southwest Pool and Spa Show. You're teaching 3 different seminars and super important seminars because water chemistry is the basis for everything in which our bodies of water reside. Can you give us a quick overview of what attendees can expect from your sessions?
Yeah, I always like to start with the basics, and until you know the basics, everything else is more difficult, right? So I tell people, if you've never taken a basic water chemistry class, come take it. Even if you feel like you may already know it, just learn one new thing and it might make your life easier. But I build the basic approach to pool chemistry around what we call the 3 Ps of pool care. And that's, no matter what role you play in the industry, whether you're a retail person or a service person or you work at a distributor or whatever, ultimately as pool professionals, we are trying to accomplish the same things for every customer. And that's the 3 Ps of pool care. And that's prevent disease, which is our number one most important job. Protect the investment, we call it, which is protecting the surface and the equipment, making sure they last as long as possible and you don't damage them inadvertently or shorten their life in any way. And then finally, what's probably the most important to the end-use pool user is provide the expected environment, because ultimately everybody has an expectation about what that body of water should be like: clean, clear, safe for swimming, comfortable, all those things. And so whatever we're doing, that's what our focus is to hit those 3 Ps of pool care. So the basics, basic water chemistry is the building block of everything else that happens from that.
Let's dive into basic water chemistry. You mentioned 3 Ps of pool care. Can you share one key takeaway or tip without giving too much away?
Sure. It's hard to do one takeaway from a class like that because I cover quite a range of stuff. So maybe I could do 2 takeaways from it, if that's okay. One is there's parts of pool care that are what I call non-negotiable. And those are things that I don't care what approach you take or which way you choose to do it, you have to do those things. And that's sanitize the pool, oxidize the pool, prevent algae. We can't negotiate that. But then there are other pieces to pool care, which is my second takeaway, that everyone can choose to do a little bit differently. There's different products you can add, things you can do, or you don't have to do. There's lots of choices you can make. But ultimately, there are a lot of ways to make pool care easier for you or more efficient and effective. So there's this piece over here where you have to do this. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but you have to do it. And then this other piece where you may not necessarily have to do it, but it sure can make your life easier as you're trying to take care of a pool. And I approach the basics from, let's talk about things you have to do first, but then let's talk about the ways we can make that easier.
Your session on algae, the good, bad, and ugly, sounds very intriguing. What's one common issue with algae that you'll address, and how can better water chemistry help?
That is my favorite class to teach right now. I've been teaching it pretty steadily for a couple of years, and I created it out of my company did a bunch of research into algae, and we learned a lot of stuff about how it grows and what grows and how it responds to different types of algicide. And, we were looking for, honestly, a better way to kill algae. We wanted to see if there was, something we could do to be better, quicker, faster, more efficient. And the research that we did, we learned so much about algae. So I love to talk about the different kinds of algae. And, there is a such thing as red algae in pools. And I never thought there was. And, there are algae that don't respond well to this algicide, but they do like that algicide. And we just learned so much from the research that I love to break that down and talk about all those different things that we learned. So the class was born out of, look at this cool information. and then look at what we learned on what is the best way to kill it and what is the right combination of products and things like that. So it's an exciting class to talk about because it's a lot of new information and it's just I'm a nerd. I'm a science nerd. So to me, it was just really cool information that I like to talk about.
Hot water chemistry is another big topic. Why is managing water chemistry for hot tubs different than pools? And what's one challenge that you'd like to tackle in this seminar?
Yeah, one of the biggest mistakes we make is just to try to treat hot tubs like a smaller volume of water that acts just like a pool, and it doesn't. There are a lot of similarities. Of course, you still need to sanitize and kill bacteria and do a lot of the same things, but the byproducts and the characteristics of the water change a lot. And it's for a couple of different reasons. I always say there's 4 differences that make a difference between pools and spas, and not to dig completely into that, but temperature is one of them. Hot water, heated water behaves very differently than cooler water. And we have to really figure out what impact does that have? And ultimately, what do we need to do about it? And what kind of stuff do we have to expect to go wrong that we're going to have to keep a better eye on? And then just the process of pushing air into water changes chemistry a lot. And in the class, we dig into carbon dioxide chemistry and things like that impact pH and water balance. And, things we don't do to pools. We don't inject air into pools. It's, that's not part, but they don't have jets coming out of them. So we don't have that impact on water balance. We don't run water through a heater that heats to 104 degrees. That's what happens in spas. So all of those things make a different impact on spa chemistry and how we take care of it. And along with that, just bather load, people, more people, smaller body of water. There's a lot of, we'll call it insult for professional purposes that we add to the water. And, just it builds up a lot faster in a hot tub. So the class focuses on how to prevent issues from happening, what to do if issues do happen, and then ultimately, what's a good program to be on for a spa? What are the things to look out for so that, if you're not careful, you come out of learning about spas and say, I'm never going to have a spa. It's way too much. And it's not necessary to look at it that way when you know what to look for and what to try and prevent to keep from happening. So it's a fun class that really focuses on hot water chemistry. And I'm working right now, just a little sneak peek into maybe what comes next. I'm working on a cold water chemistry class that, for plunge pools and things like that, because hot water, cold water, naturally heated water, they all have very different chemistry to them. So
for anyone considering attending your seminars, what's one final message or reason they shouldn't miss out?
For sure. First of all, I hope to see everyone at the Southwest show. One of my personal favorites as far as shows go. I always find their dates first when I'm setting my speaking schedule to make sure that I'm able to come and participate. So the education there is always top notch and there's just so much opportunity. So that's first a shout out to them. But ultimately, I am a chemical person that loves to talk about chemicals, but I work very hard in my classes I use analogies and we talk about fun stuff. And ultimately, my goal is you don't have to be a scientist to understand chemistry. And that's what I infuse in my courses. So if you're scared of chemistry or you're scared of algae or you're scared of hot water or whatever it is, don't be scared. Come on out, come to my class. We'll have a laugh or two. I might use you in a human example. I'm always very nice when I do it, but I approach pool chemistry very lightheartedly, but at the same time, not losing sight of the importance of it and how much of an impact that it has in our industry. So I would love to see anyone that wants to come and learn just a little bit more about taking care of water.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Alicia. We look forward to seeing your seminars
Sure.
at the Southwest Pool and Spa Show.
And I look forward to seeing everyone. So come on by and say hi.
Thank you once again, Alicia, for coming on the show. Here are the dates and times for her sessions. They sound like they're going to be a lot of fun and very informative. So here we go. Basic water chemistry, the 3 Ps of pool care. That's going to be held Friday, February 7th at 8 a.m. in room 351A. Algae, the good, bad, and ugly. That's going to be held Thursday, February 6th at 3:30 p.m. in room 360A. We have water chemistry. It's not just a little pool. That's going to be held Thursday, February 6th at 1 p.m. in room 360C. All are going to be held at the Georgia Brown Convention Center in Houston, Texas. We all hope to see you there.